that 20 minutes ago. What did you say?
Oh my God, yeah.
That's like
clean up the language. You should have given us a heads up. Too late now.
Now we're gonna be on our best behavior.
Okay, so, what, okay.
So when it goes into screen, so when it goes into slideshow, nothing, it only shows up on these two and it doesn't share with the.
Okay, that's the phone here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had my
No,
phone
that's
being
all
charged. I
right,
can
yeah.
move from there.
Because, yeah, I'm not sure what it said.
You know, there's an extra here.
Yeah, there you go. I can use it. Put it over there.
Yeah, that's something, because I don't know what's projected here.
Right. And that one's
That's
just.
something in the application, like, this one.
Okay, well, we'll just do full slides.
Okay, can you do, yeah, if you just drag the, if you mount it here, in other words, here's what I want you to do, okay, this is the drag off screen here, so everything's staged, everything over here.
I was involved with the launch of InFocus Systems, which was the first projector. So I was early in on presentations, and God, it's probably 20 years now. And
Now,
for 20 years, every meeting has had a situation. What do you do? There's a problem. I'm not hooked up. You know, I don't have the adapter, whatever. And it's only evolved into now when you're on GoToMeeting or Skype or whatever. It's the same problem. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really.
Let's see what that projector's figured out at this point. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You're not going out that way, you know.
I'm gonna have to try my phone.
Daily.
I did my first talk over the internet back in '95. And that was a pain to get going.
I remember about then, Rolling Stones came out.
That was me. I knew it was technical producer for that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it was like, okay, download this, you know.
Yeah,
It took like 25 minutes, 30 minutes to download a 30-second clip.
Oh no, the one we did was the first major rock and roll band live on the internet.
Okay.
So it was Sun and Thinking Picture. Anyway, so it was basically back in '94, and we were doing part of a research project called MBO. So we just took some of the research tools and some social guys got it.
the problem is,
And what
that
was the
because
band?
this was a different resolution. that-
Interesting. One of their live
It was,
shows.
let's see,
No. Yeah.
I can't remember which tour it was.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, I remember. Like '94. Yeah. Right. No, they were doing stadiums. It was a whole stadium tour. I remember.
That's only '97.
Because I had a small merchandising company also, and we had some rights to sell at the LA Coliseum. We performed at the Coliseum. I remember we made a little money off of that tour. So it was a sweet stage. Anyways,
That's
I was
what
involved in rock and roll briefly.
That's the only place they make money.
Yeah.
You know, it's merch, you know. and-
Exactly.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. I used to like the merchandising business.
These days, that's the only way they make money a lot of times.
Yeah. The music industry is shifting so much.
Oh, man.
You know, it's not the same industry anymore.
Well, part of my security background is in DRL, so that's
Oh, okay. Okay.
which is possible.
Let's get past this one.
Yep, okay.
So I could sit up here and talk about myself. People hate me.
Well, we want to know. I mean, feel free to, riff on yourself a little. And
One of the challenges I do have, I'm not really data-centric as I present myself for these things, but I do have an extensive background of my own. I know that some of you have looked at it, and I don't want to bore you with those details.
I'd like to hear it again.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been a software engineer / architect, not to offend, for 35 years. 32 of those as paid employment. I was a hacker before that. And sort of opposite of. And for some of the larger corporations around, you guys know them, 74 corporations in the course of 32 years of employment, ExxonMobil, NASA, GE.
What did you do for those companies?
I was a fireman. I was the guy that would come in as a contractor, typically 6 to 18 months, and solve problems where they had already gotten themselves in touch.
Mm.
So 90% of that was re-architecture. Basically, what had happened is they would have diminished their budgeted resources of manpower budget, take whatever was left, analyze the problem domain, see what the hell it screwed up, just, but, I mean, that was the job, right? And I built something of a reputation for that, in specifically in oil field.
Wow.
But I started out early on. I had gone to, in 1986 or 1989, to Walmart of all places. I'm just a high school dropout. So when I first got into this business, I kind of grew up with the business. I happened to go to, just on a lark, went to Redmond, Washington, and partook in something which was later to become Windows 3.0.
Huh.
And so I happened to be the only SME in the world, or at least in the United States, when Walmart wanted to, of all places, Teradata, wanted to they wanted to take this new Windows 3.0 technology and be able to see small subsets of data on Windows screen from this gigantic, at the time, Unix box, which were from Teradata out of Atlanta, Georgia. And so they taught me that they managed TCP/IP stack. They taught me everything I needed to know because they needed this one little piece of GUI stuff. I did. So that was my upshot. That turned out extremely well. They were very supportive. Wound up then going to American Airlines, ADT, 1,500 developers. Built probably one of the bigger disasters, or helped build the Denver airport system. But also, prior to that, helped build Sabre, the system by which all the travel systems and stuff are all done. So, intimate with that thing, that's how I got my hotel for $1,889. You didn't get to know how those things work.
Call you next time.
We were having a discussion because but at that down wound up eventually, and by the time we got around to 1996, 1997, I was what would have been probably the pinnacle of my career at that time, and wound up working for NASA 2 assignments. Did Space Shuttle, Space Station, did something called EGVS, Air-Ground Voice System. Did something called DC-10, voice expression, everybody was familiar with that. But basically what we did there is took stream code, a stream that was UHF and digital, and aligned them as some, digital takes processing time. So what you do is you basically use a DSP, or use firmware to identify analog artifacts in the UHF signal coming out. Tie that then to the digital, slow the digital, or speed the digital up or slow either one. I use really like MIDI, believe it or not, MIDI technology, channel switching, to basically, so that in their headset they don't get an echo. That's what it's all about. And there's some interesting cabinets. When Challenger went south, had the experience of going through and then scraping from those buffers, the last audio that we could get and stuff like that. So yeah, it was some real.
Yeah, that's
That was tough.
no, that's tough. I get it.
Yeah, that was sorry.
No, that's tough.
But that was yeah. So that was at that point the high point of the career. So that then I started getting to, and from there on did a lot of different oil fields. So you can look at my resume, it's online. And from there then started to become interested in security in 1998. The issue came to head because I happened to work with an Air Force project, ATM, not bank technology, but Air Force worked on a project, was very, very interesting, where they took 256 ATM terminals, which is a communications protocol, mounted on a single PC. And it was this massively fast and semi-redundant system, and I don't know to what extent. I was in there was a program, Lockheed Martin, for whom I was contracted at the time, had Skunk Works, and this is one of their Skunk Works projects. And so got involved in that. That was fascinating stuff. I mean, that was just absolutely. But from that, the security aspects where I became interested in security. So in 1998, I became something at that time, some of you may remember, but in email, the big thing was spoofing. Someone would send you an email pretending to be somebody else. That was the big thing. So I wrote something called Caller ID for email, and got 2 patents, or basically applied for 2 patents in 2003 and 2004. Subsequent to the second filing, Mr. Bill Gates, Microsoft, gets up February of 2004 and announces it as his own, including my trademark on the name, including my patents, as a Microsoft technology. And if you doubt me, you can type in F. Scott Deaver, call ready for email, Microsoft, and hear the full story. And obviously not being a person with great financial capabilities at the time, had some limited things I could do about that. Did wind up going to China. Did stop them there because it was based on an open source thing called SPM. And they had to then, and forced them basically to pull their stuff back into what was called Hotmail at the time. They didn't have something. But coming out of that, again, ego stroke for myself, apologize, but that was really kind of, for me, a cathartic event because it told me that what I thought of the world that I knew from all this exposure, all thing, was accurate, or at least accurate enough that I come up with solutions that people would steal. Now, that's not the most desirable solution, but again, I have something out there that was to some extent successful. So it was a real, it said, okay, I do have some ability to analyze it. So recovering from that then leads into some of the things we were talking about today. That was that, abandoned that project, of course, in 2004. I actually wound up in San Diego, of all places, where I now live, with 18 empty suits for Microsoft, and my little one patent attorney sat there and kind of learned a little bit about the business side of things, which is why I don't do the business side of things. But harsh lessons, and all of you, you accomplished individuals, you understand, I think, how that goes, right? It kind of defines who you become. You can pick your ass up, or you sit there and you basically grab a log somewhere at a bar. I chose to go the other route, so after this, then started the project that we lovingly refer to. Eventually, it started out as Screen Sender, then became View Sender, and then became Orthoptics. Orthoptics is the project that is germane, I think, more to your interests. And the idea, the premise here was I saw that the issue in security at that time wasn't so much that people could, there were problems in it, and I think Mark McCullough is particularly expert in the problems of assuring who a person is. That's certainly one issue. But I had confidence that people like, and people that I was familiar with that, of course, didn't know Mr. Carl at that time, but people, I knew that area probably was in capable hands of figuring out whether they stuck a chip in somebody's skin or something. They would solve that problem. But they couldn't solve the fact that identifying a person doesn't tell you anything. That's right. That person who you think that you vetted and you hired him and you did a thorough vetting in the case of the corporate environment,